Should you buy a house now in 2022 or wait for a possible house price crash? In this live stream, we're going to go over what I think and what the experts think is going to happen in the not so distant future. If you don't know me, I'm Lee Everett. I've been an estate agent in Essex for nearly 20 years, and I've dealt with thousands and thousands of property transactions. So I like to think I'm quite well placed in offering my thoughts and opinion and advice on the UK housing market. So if you're new here, please hit that like button and subscribe. As always, we do answer questions throughout this stream. So if you do have something you want to share or ask, please feel free to pop it in the comment section. Really good to know that people are here and are interacting. Already, Maya, welcome again. Welcome back again. Thank you so much for joining us. And you're straight in with a question. Exactly the question my husband and I have got in mind. Thank you so much for this live. You are more than welcome. It's something I'm seeing quite a lot at the moment, especially on YouTube. A lot of creators and experts are predicting a crash and giving their advice on whether people should buy now or wait for the market to correct itself. And it's yeah, we're going to go through that. We're going to go through that. But what I wanted to touch on first, yeah, we're going to go through first is what Halifax latest reports about what has been happening with house prices according to them. Now, Halifax and Nationwide are the two biggest mortgage lenders in the UK, so they have a real good picture of what's going on. So we're going to go over a few of their figures, which we've got in a report here, which we're going to get and go through some of the figures. Nice to see you. Thank you. It's very nice to see you again as well. Nice to see you. James, hey, watched the most recent 2 Q&As yesterday. Brilliant advice. Thank you. No, thank you for watching. I mean, they're between half hour and nearly an hour long. So thank you so much for watching and joining, James, as well. So thank you so much. These streams are getting more and more popular each week. So I'm really, really happy that you're here watching, and we're gonna go over what Halifax say. We're gonna go over whether you should buy now or maybe wait, the pros and cons, why you would want to do one or the other. So yeah, please feel free to pop in your thoughts as well. Always keen to hear what you guys are thinking. Planet Pokerwood, good evening. I'm still waiting for the crash. Yes, I know you are. I know you are. Right, everyone. So if you don't know the drill by now, I love you to like this video. The more people that like it, the more YouTube pushes it out, and I will be asking this throughout the stream as well. So if you haven't done it, I'll be checking. Right, so let's get into what Halifax are saying. I've not had much chance to prepare for this in terms of overlays and stuff like that, so I'm just going to read from some notes I took on my lunch break today. So April, Halifax have reported that house prices have gone up 1.1%. So that's still an increase. It's not as big of an increase as we've been reporting over the last 12 months, 18 months, but that's still around £3,000 increase on the previous month. So house price, according to Halifax, up around £3,000 compared to last month. So not a huge amount in the grand scheme of things, but still an increase in terms of how much it's going to cost you to buy the same house compared to the month before. That's the 10th consecutive month that Halifax have reported increasing. I think that's the most since 2006. I think the last time that happened was 2006, according to Halifax and their records. Mortgage applications and approvals are still way above what they were pre-pandemic. So that just goes to show that at the moment, there are more people looking and more people getting approved for mortgages than what there was before 2020, when we all were locked down for many, many weeks and months. So over the last 2 years, the average house price has increased by £47,568. So if you bought a house 2 years ago, or was clever enough or lucky enough to buy a house 2 years ago, you're probably sitting on near on 50 grand extra equity in your property. That's pushed the average house price up, according to Halifax and their figures, to £286,079. So a massive, massive increase in the last 2 years. I was going to take a break from those figures and just go through a few comments as we're getting quite popular now. Anyway, how's the audio? Let me know if the audio is okay. I've invested in a microphone to try and stop the echo. So let me know if the audio is all right. Maya, I can see that if prices go down, it doesn't make much of a difference for second-time buyers, but it's such an anxiety inducing for us as first-time buyers. Yes, 100%. If you're buying and selling and house prices go up or down, if you're buying roughly the same sort of level, any house price, yours will go up, and the one that you want to buy will go up. If you're a first-time buyer, waiting and house prices going up, as what we've seen the last 2 years, it's really going to affect the type of property you can buy. And that's, a massive factor in whether a first-time buyer can get a mortgage. I think on the last stream, we talked about that house prices have gone up so much that the average first-time buyer needs to have saved an extra £7,000 to £10,000 deposit and earn an extra £5,000 to £8,000 a year just to keep up with the increase in house prices. So it's very, very difficult for first-time buyers and people who aren't selling a property. But you do have advantages. You have no chain. You haven't got the stress of having to sell and buy at the same time. That is saved for next time you decide to buy a house. So you've got that to come. Paul RS, thanks very much for joining. I don't think I recognised you commenting before. So if you're new, thank you very much for joining me. A pleasure to see you here. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comment section. We're going to get through those as well. Ebony Jane, thank you so much again. There's a lot of thank you, so thank you. Sold my house in January, and these sessions have been interesting. Struggling in this market, I've just had a seller back out of the market. Yeah, that's not ideal for you, Jane. That's not ideal. Did they pull out because they couldn't find anywhere? That's what a lot of the abortive sales that I've dealt with over the last couple of years has been due to owners not being able to find what they want, therefore deciding to stay put and enjoy the house they have at the moment. So, I mean, I think the one saving grace for you, Jane, would be that house prices this year, although they are going up, they're not going up as quickly as what they were last year. So the fact you may have to start looking for another property now if you had to have done it last year, then 3, 4 months, 5 months of property prices going up, the amount more you'd have to pay just to get the same house would have been huge. But this year, we're talking 2-3% more than what it would have been in January. So try and take some good out of it. But let me know the situation, whether it was the one you was buying, if the owner did pull out because they couldn't find or for another reason. Let me know in the comments below. Planet Pokewood, great audio. Thank you. The £95 I invested in a microphone seems to be doing all right. Where do we get up to? Yep. So average house price up to £286,000 and £79,000. That is a hell of a lot of money. I don't know what that would get you in your town. Let me know, actually. Put in the comment section below what £280,000, £290,000 would get in your area. And let us know where in the world you are, where in the country you are. We start comparing what 290 grand would get you. In my town, you're probably looking at a 3-bed semi in a nice area, or a 3-bedroom detached in a more normal area. You'd probably get you'd probably buy 2 flats for that in my town quite easily, 2 flats. So as the rate of increase in house prices has been slowing down, Halifax thinks that is going to continue over the coming year due to the wider global economical effects with what's going on in Ukraine and inflation and stuff like that. So they do think that prices are going to still go up, but it's going to slow down even more. And we've noticed that this year already, that house prices have still gone up, but not at the same rate as last year. So they are starting to taper off somewhat. We're not going to talk about whether I think they're going to go down just yet, because I'll tell you that and then you're all going to leave and I'll be sitting there on my own, and I don't want that. So this is going to lead nicely onto whether you should buy now or if you should wait. I know a few of you are buying now, so please let me know if you are. That would be really, really good. Right, I'm going to go through a few comments before we get into that. Got some questions here. Courtston 78. Hi, is a 2.78 fixed rate for 5 years a good mortgage offer? Now, Courtston, I'm not a mortgage broker, so I'm not allowed to give any financial advice. If you're using a independent mortgage broker and they've recommended this deal, then it is the best deal for you. Other people might be able to get a cheaper deal based on their circumstances, and other people would probably get a more expensive deal. But if you're using an independent mortgage broker, then they would put you with the right lender for you, for your circumstances and your scenario. I mean, my 5-year fixed rate, I got October just gone, before interest rates started to go up, and mine's 2.1. But obviously a lot has happened since October. Interest rates have gone up. So on the thick of it, on the face of it, I don't think that's a particularly bad deal at all. But you will need to double check with your mortgage broker, or if you haven't spoken to a mortgage broker, let me know. I can put you in contact with an independent mortgage broker. Just ping me an email on that lovely ticker going underneath there, and I'll put you in contact with one. So, but on the face of it, I think it's certainly not over the top. Certainly not over the top. Where are we? So Jane, yes, they couldn't find what they wanted. I'm also considering backing out as my buyer is pressuring us now. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a common thing that vendors of ones you're buying are having to withdraw because they can't find anywhere. And your buyer putting pressure on you doesn't help you and the stress of things, does it? Does it, Jane? It's difficult to figure out what the best thing is to do in your situation. And in all honesty, if you were to back out and put your house on the market, you might be able to get more money. But what I would do is I would make sure your estate agent tells any prospective buyers that you would need to find somewhere. That's what I'm telling my vendors when they come into market. Put your house on the market, but we will make sure we tell every viewer who comes around your house that you haven't found somewhere and will need time to find somewhere. If that buyer's not happy with that, they can go and buy something else. But that would be what my advice would be, is if you are going to pull out, just make sure your agent is telling anybody viewing your house that you would need to find somewhere. James, hi, we're first-time buyers from the South Coast. Been to 4 or 5 viewings this week. Got our AIP done, well done. Hoping for no market crash. Viewed one today for 475, but considering putting an under offer. Yeah, so I've done a few videos on how much you should offer on a property, and there are a few variations of what to do depending on the actual property and what's going on in the market at the time. But my normal advice would be, if the property's been on the market for more than 4 weeks, that's a general indication that the property is a little bit too much money. You want to ask the agent, if you can, how many viewings they've had since they came to the market and why people aren't buying it. Anything on the market for more than 4 weeks in this market, in a good market, there's something wrong with the property. Even if they've picked the crappiest estate agent in the world, a certain colour brick agent, for example, they are still selling houses, even though they don't particularly do the selling well. I'm not trying to be too harsh on them, but yeah, if it's 475 and you want to put an offer in, all they can do is say no. But if there is lots of interest in that property, it's only just come on the market, or you're the first person round, then you may have to go in with a stronger offer. In a normal market, I'd advise going sort of 10%, 5 to 10% lower than the asking price, and then working your way up from there. Each time your offer goes up, you're halving the amount. So say you're going to go in at 450, James. Again, if it's a popular property and there's quite a few viewings and interest, you don't want to go as low as that. But 475, been on the market, say 4 weeks, going at 450. Your next increase, you might go up to 460. So that's a 10 grand increase. If that gets rejected, your next offer should be 465. So you've increased £10,000 your first increase. Your second increase is half of that £10,000, so 5,000. Your next increase, 2,500. So each time, if you have to go up, reduce your offer by half, and that will show the estate agent and the seller that you are reaching the top of your budget. Every time your offer gets smaller and smaller, you're getting close to that. But James, if you wouldn't mind, if you are going to offer on that one and you want to share with the people that are watching these live streams how well you got on, or if you didn't get it, please pop back next week. We'll be here at 8:30 discussing property. So yeah, good luck, James. Let us know how you get on. If you do need any advice while I'm not on air, just ping me an email, and yeah, we can chat. We can chat. All right. Maya, 280s for a 2-bed terrace house, not a great area, in a not so great area. Wow. This just goes to show how different prices in different areas, how far or how not far your money actually goes. I mean, I'm in East Anglia, Essex, and say 290, 280 is a 3-bed semi in a nice area, or excuse me, or a 3-bed detached in a not so nice area. But 280 for a 2-bedroom mid terrace, yeah, you don't get a lot for your money there, do you? Whereabouts are you, Maya? I'm guessing South Coast. I'm guessing. Poor us. Just bought my first house, waited 9 months for it to complete because of probate. Yeah, there's been a lot of extra people dying, unfortunately, over the last couple of years. So the probate office has been overwhelmed with applications. So yeah, probate has been a massive hold up for a lot of chains. But well done for sticking in there, Paul. Your house you started buying 9 months is worth a bloody lot more money now, even if you've done no work to it. So this is a prime example of last year when people were saying the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash, wait. Paul hasn't waited. He's bought a property and now it's completed. He's probably got 8 to 10% extra equity in his house without actually doing anything. You see, time owning a house, you build up equity, as well as the time it takes to buy a house. If house prices are going up, from the time you agree the sale to the time it completes, if house prices have gone up, you've got free money straight away sitting in your house in equity. So yeah, well done for sticking in there, Paul. Whereabouts in the country did you buy? Let us know if you're happy to. James, where are you? There you go. So James in his part of the world, 280 would get us a 2-bed flat above a shop in the South Coast area in Hampshire. Wow. 280 grand to get a 2-bed flat above a shop, which can be difficult to get mortgages on as well. So what's your 475 getting you for your money, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, you got a neighbour, James Mayer, they're in Hampshire too. Ridiculously expensive here. And there's me thinking I was expensive where I was. But this isn't a... I see it in the first time buyer group on Facebook when people say, oh, this is a house I've made an offer on £150,000 for, and people are going, oh, you wouldn't get that anywhere in my town. It's not a how big's your budget competition. This just goes to show that the regional variations of house prices is really, really massive. It's nuts. So yeah, well done for being able to afford that, by the way, guys. Well done. Oh God, this is just refreshed. Where are we? Thanks for your honest opinion. No, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. Well, look, this is what this channel is. We are. There's nobody looking out for first-time buyers or buyers. Even estate agents, they act like they're your friends and whatnot, but they're really paid by the seller. They're paid by the seller to get them as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. And this sort of information and advice is really sort of not out there, I don't think anyway, which is the whole reason I started this channel 2 years ago and embarrassed myself on a weekly basis on this channel. Who's that deal coursing? Seems to be in between what HSBC and Nationwide offer for 90% loan to value. Yeah, Maya, I mean, she's been buying a house. So yeah, talk amongst yourselves. Love it. Absolutely love it. Crazy expensive. Yep. Right. So James, unfortunately, it came on the market today and already had one offer. Right. In which case, then ignore my advice of going at 450. If you think that property is worth £475,000, then you should go in at that price or as close to that as possible. I don't suppose the agent gave you an indication of how much the offer was, did they? They might do. They might give you a ballpark, and then you can decide whether you want to beat it. Was it a offers in excess of or guide price or something like that, or was it just 475? Let me know. Right, Jane, our agents have been great. Good to hear. And told them from the start about us needing to find a place. Just have to keep the faith that something will come up. We've made strong offers on 5 properties. That is what is really positive about that, is that you've been able to actually offer on 5 properties. A couple of years ago, or a year ago, 18 months ago, I doubt you'd have been in that position where there was 5 properties to view, let alone offer on, that were in your budget and criteria. So that's a really good thing. A really good thing that that is there. So to offer them. So that's really, really good. Really, really good. Right, going to go back into a little bit more of the should you buy now or should you wait? I'll come back to some questions shortly. Again, if you haven't liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. That'll push it in front of more and more unknowing souls. So let's look at why waiting to buy a property could be beneficial. As I've just said to Jane, that there seems to be more and more properties coming onto the market. And what we've seen is that the usual spring bounce in sellers looking to put their house on the market to take advantage of the nicer weather, the longer days, and trying to get sold before summer. So what a lot of sellers look to do, they want to be in their new property by summer so they can enjoy their new big garden or their new rural location or whatever it is. So more properties tend to come on the market. And when there's more of something, that generally pushes prices down. So the whole supply and demand you hear me barking on about every week. So if, for example, Jane there, she had 5 properties to view and offer on, maybe the next few weeks and months, there might be 10 properties. And if there's the same amount of buyers, but double the amount of properties, then that creates a little bit of competition between sellers. And when you start getting a little bit of competition between sellers, they may start fighting for the buyers that are looking to buy, and they may start reducing their asking prices. So that's one thing to think about if you are thinking of waiting a bit longer to see what happens. If you do start seeing more and more properties coming onto the market and not selling straight away, that's an indication that they're asking too much money and the market isn't willing to pay for it. So that could be one reason to wait to see what happens with that. And we're also seeing, as we said at the beginning of the video, that house prices are starting to go up more slowly than they have been the last 18 months. And it's still going up, but they're not going up 2-3% a month like they have been over the last 18 months. So it's really positive to see that they are starting to slow down. But will they go actually down? That's another question. That's another question. So there are a couple of reasons why maybe it is worth waiting and maybe looking to see, give it a few months, see if more houses do come onto the market. And then if vendors do start fighting for your money, that does happen. It does happen. But we just don't know whether that's going to happen anytime soon. Let's go back to some comments. So we've got James, who's in the Christchurch area. Corson is in Halifax. Oh, no, not in Halifax. Your lender is Halifax. James Dykes, welcome back, James. Thank you very much for popping back. Please give the video a like if you haven't already. Cheryl, welcome back, Cheryl. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. So thanks for joining the stream. Interesting to know how you've got on the last week. I know you was here last week, so let me know how you're getting on. Jane, been beaten by cash buyers, friends, and a first-time buyer with no change, so it's definitely an advantage to being out. Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you bought this property, being a first-time buyer would have been a massive plus for the seller to choose you over somebody else. Whereas now, anybody who's sold their house, it's a great position to be in, but there are first-time buyers and investors who are in a better position, as in there's no chain behind them unless things to go wrong. So, it's good and bad. You're sold, which is great, but there are people in better positions than you, which might mean you might have to offer more money, which if it's doable, then do it if you're comfortable with it. But if you're not, there will always be something else eventually if you're willing to wait, Jane, if you're willing to wait. Yeah, James, thanks very much. Yeah, it'd be really great to see how you get on. Again, I'm here every Wednesday, 8:30. So please feel free to, let us know how you get on. I'd really appreciate that. So I just put a poll up on the stream. You want to see what you think is going to happen with house prices. If you think they're going to go up or down, let me know in the comments, and then we'll look at it at the end of the stream, see how we're getting on. Mayors in Southampton's. Congratulations, Paul. Yes, well done for getting your house 9 months ago and being patient. Well done. One of the best things you can do when buying a house is be as patient as possible, because there's so many things which are out of your hands. So many things. So many things. He's got a 2-bed semi-house with potential to improve a nice house. Well, this is it. You can always improve a property. You can always add value, whether it be an extension, modernization, stuff like that. But you can never change where a property is. That's why you've got the TV show, location, location, location. You can never change the location, but you can change almost anything on the inside of a freehold property if you've got the outside space as well. So yeah, good shout. Good shout. So Jane has said more properties are definitely coming onto a 3-star loan. Yeah, you see, that's it. If you're noticing more properties are coming onto the market, then in 3-4 weeks' time, if they're not sold, they're the prime ones that you should start offering on, and not asking price. We're talking 5-10% below, just to see where the owner's expectations are, and especially houses that have been reduced recently as well, because they normally leave wiggle room after they've reduced the house as well to take an offer. So that's good. That's good. Right. So we've done the reasons why you may potentially want to wait before buying a house. Now we've got the doom and gloom bit, which is why you should probably buy a house now rather than waiting. And we've got energy prices going up. We've got fuel prices going up, food prices going up, and interest rates. That's the thing for me, which is a biggie. We've got so many things going up in price along with house prices, but the cost in borrowing money to buy your biggest asset, and remember, a mortgage is a massive debt. It's a massive debt. It's the biggest debt you're probably going to have in your life. And I done a video back in 2020, I think, where I said it makes sense to buy your biggest asset on finance, a mortgage, when mortgage rates are as low as they've ever been. And we're talking when the Bank of England's base rate was 0.1%. It's now 1%. So it's gone up 10 times. The base rate is 10 times more expensive now than what it was 18 months ago. And banks' interest rates, what they charge you to lend you money on your mortgage, have gone up so much as well. So, and they're not done yet either. They're talking about interest rates going up to 2-3%, some analysts are predicting. So if you can imagine that we were at 0.1%, we're now at 1% in the space of, God, was it seems like 3 or 4 months, 5 months. It's going to cost so much more money to borrow the same amount of money. So if you can buy now and get that mortgage offer locked in now before interest rates go up, then your monthly payments for the same house are going to be cheaper now than what they would be if you were to wait. I think you can see where I'm leaning in terms of my advice on whether you should buy now or wait. House prices are going to have to come down a hell of a lot for anyone to really benefit from actual money in your pocket benefit. Because if house prices start to drop and interest rates are going up, it's just, your mortgage payments are going to be higher for less money. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if that makes sense, because I feel like I'm explaining it great, but I don't think I might be. So go to some more comments. The house we had an offer accepted on, £345,000, is a 3-bed terrace in a decent area near good schools. We're nervous to move forward, but worried we can't find anything that meets our needs. Do you need a 3-bedroom house in a decent area with good schools? If you do, and you can afford that property, then that's the one for you to go for. If you're worried about don't buy something because the fear of missing out, FOMO, I think they call it, don't they? FOMO. Don't buy something because you feel like you need to. Okay. You want to buy the property you need. Don't buy because you feel you need to. If you need a 3-bedroom house with good schools nearby because you're planning a family and you're going to be there for a number of years, then this is the house you need. But if you don't need 3 bedrooms, you don't need to be near schools right now, then don't stretch yourself. Be smart. Think with your head, not your heart. And I say this on most of my live streams and videos, is you've got to buy the house you need or the property you need rather than the property you want. Write down the things you need in a property. And if a property matches those things, then go for it. If it's got a few of your wants, then even better. But my slogan on this channel, it has been for the last couple of months, is buy what you need, not what you want. Because as first-time buyers, yeah, we lack patience. Our parents and grandparents bought a small property first and then made their way to the big family homes. And so many first time buyers that I'm dealing with in my office are buying that 3-bedroom house straight away and then complaining that they can't afford it when they don't actually need a 3-bedroom. A 2-bedroom house would be perfect for them and be £50,000 cheaper, and they can afford it. But that's my view. I know a few of you agree with me and some probably don't. So, but that is my advice. Let's get some more questions before I dig myself a big hole. Amy Marwood. Hey, Amy, welcome back. Welcome back. Survey question. We got our home survey level 2 report back yesterday, which is good. Hopefully, can get a can finally get contract soon. Need to get gas and electric tested so we can do this later after exchange. You want to do any quotes or testing before you exchange contracts. Now, first of all, you want to make sure that the seller hasn't already got a gas service done. I'd probably say half of the sellers that we sell properties for generally have their gas appliance tested or serviced every year. The electrical side is something most sellers don't do unless there's a problem with a property. So you may want to get that done. But if those reports do throw up some things you weren't expecting, like new consumer unit or no earthing in the property or the gas boiler is about to blow up or it's going to be condemned, you want to know before you exchange contracts, because after you've exchanged contracts, Amy, you can't do anything. You can't renegotiate. You can't ask the seller to do anything. You're legally obliged to pay that price to that property. So I would get those done sooner rather than later, and then only exchange once those reports have been done. And your solicitor will agree with that as well. And I think on your survey, it would say, get those done before you proceed to exchanging contracts. I hope that's helped. If it has, give us a thumbs up. What do you know about coach houses? I've got a couple in my area, coach houses, in terms of like flats that go over sort of underpasses. If we're on the same wavelength there, let me know, Corsten, if that's what you're talking about. I've got very few in my area. Cheryl, update, going through with different broker and got my fitted wardrobes in-house. I was going to put a poll on the channel, Cheryl, about where we were hoping or whether you're going to get your wardrobes or not. So mistake on the teeth, yeah, just as you said. Honestly, love these lives and your honesty. Much appreciated as a first-time buyer. You're more than welcome. And thank you so much for coming back this week. Even though we answered your question and you got your wardrobes, you're still back. And appreciate you and your loyalty. It's very nice. Thank you. What else we got? Oh. If a vendor still looking, should I hold off a mortgage application or go for it to secure a better mortgage rate? I would go for it now. As I said just a second ago, interest rates are going up what seems like every week, but they're getting more and more expensive. So I would lock in that mortgage agreement in principle. When you do it with a broker, get the mortgage application going. When you speak to your broker, once they've found a deal for you, then you want to ask them how long the mortgage offer is generally valid for, and then let the estate agent you're buying know, look, I've got my mortgage offer and that has given me 90 days before that expires. That's 3 months to exchange contracts. So get the mortgage, hold off on the legal side, because the legal side can start costing you money with searches and solicitors fees, etc. But get the mortgage application underway, secure that mortgage offer, and then you'll have that for between 60 and 90 days generally. But speak to your mortgage broker first and they'll let you know. Lizzie G, welcome. Lizzie joined me and a friend a few months ago, maybe even a year ago, on one of these live streams. And she bought a flat, and I think she's really happy there. So Lizzie, I'm really pleased you're in your new place and enjoying it. I saw the pictures on Instagram, looking really good. Man, totally agree. We've got a family already and got a school offered me, but I'm planning to have another child hopefully at some point. But it is at the top of our affordability. Well, if it's at your top of affordability, you can afford it. And if you need those rooms and you're planning for the future and you're going to be there a good few years, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. You have the Lee Everett property seal of approval to buy that property. So go for it. Hi, Tyler. Thanks for joining. Give us a like if you haven't already. So thank you very much. Hello, Lee. Just confirmed a property recently, but I'm not sure if a survey is necessary. What do you think of doing a survey before getting a property? Some people do it. Not many people do it. Some people do get, if it's an older house or there's clearly something wrong with the property, before they make an offer, they may spend £300 to £100 to £1,000 in getting a structural survey or a full structural survey or a home buyer's report before making an offer. If you're willing to spend £300 to £1,000 and the report come back rubbish and you're not able to successfully negotiate a sale or a purchase price, then as long as you're willing to lose that money, then go for it. But I don't know many people who are willing to lose money before they know what they're actually going to be able to buy the property. Your best bet is making your offer subject to survey and contract. Every offer is subject to contract, but if you make it clear with the estate agent that my offer is subject to a survey being done, don't rely on the mortgage survey if you are overly concerned. If it's an older property approaching 100 years old or around that sort of 80 to 100 years old, I'd probably go for a home buyer's level 2 survey. If the property's listed or over 100 years old, I'll probably go for a full building survey, which will cost you a lot more, but spending that money would be or could save you thousands and thousands of pounds in the future. Let me know how old the property is, Tyler. Let me know. I'm about to give you a little bit more advice on that. Amy's back. Yes, thanks. They had the boiler service recently, but not tested. Believe that's what it said. Our vendors developers are threatening to remarket their plot for more money as not exchanged yet. Builders, so impatient. I wouldn't worry too much on that. I've dealt with many builders in chains, big ones, Barratt Homes, Taylor Wimpey, sort of the big builders. They don't tend to withdraw the property from the market and put the price up and sell to somebody else. They're probably just doing that to get things to hurry up. They'd be silly to do that, but it does happen on the rare occasion. But yeah, the gas test. The boiler service, that is basically a gas test. If you give a plumber or a gas engineer a call, they will go and do a gas safety certificate test, and that'll be a bit of paper that big saying they've tested it and all the gas appliances. So providing that was done recently, then you won't need to get the gas tested. But if you wanted to get your own one done, obviously you're more than welcome to. But the gas engineer would have been Corgi registered and looked at everything to make sure it was safe and working fine. But get an electrician in there as soon as possible. Then, if that's the only thing you're waiting on before exchanging contracts, get them in there, get the report. If it's all fine and dandy, great. If there's any negotiations to be made, then do that. If not, just go ahead and exchange contracts. But yeah, I think you're doing the right thing by getting that done. Megan Probert, welcome to the channel. I think you're new here. Forgive me if you're not. So welcome. Say hi to the guys. You are first-time buyers. We have our mortgage offer reserved until the beginning of July, but our sellers haven't found a property yet. We may not be able to afford a new mortgage rate after July. Advice: first of all, find out how long your mortgage offer. No, you just told me that. Have you told the estate agent that is when your mortgage offer runs out? That would be my first thing. If you've done a mortgage via a mortgage broker, then speak to the mortgage broker and find out how successful they have been in extending mortgage offers with this particular lender and with that particular product. But yeah, definitely tell the estate agent it runs out in July if you haven't already. Definitely speak to your broker and get the feeling as to whether that mortgage offer would be extended if the deal was still about. And remember, between now and July, a lot of things can happen. Mortgage rates can go up, they can go down, but they're probably not. Then you've done the right thing by locking it in. You haven't lost anything by locking that mortgage offer in. And if that vendor does find somewhere, you've got the finances ready to go and you're able to sort of complete as soon as possible. But yeah, my advice would be keep the pressure on the estate agent, let them know it runs out in July, but at the same time, have the conversation with your broker or your bank to find out what happens if we are not ready to exchange contracts come beginning of July. which is, yeah, it's 2 months away, isn't it? Less than 2 months away. That'll be my advice, Megan. Again, please come back next week and let me know if that is happened or that's happened, and if it's helped you out. So yeah. Maya, thank you. Really precious to hear your reassurance. We're in the same position as you, Cheryl. We're going to get the mortgage deal last week, but didn't. Now the same deal was £31 higher a month. Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. And that's in 1 month. £31 a month, 362. Oh, that's a lot of money. Need £200 a month, a year more expensive to buy the same house. And that's from a week. Do you know what I mean? Last week, an extra £31 a month. Not only are mortgages going up, when the mortgage lenders are assessing your affordability, their new calculations are going to have to factor in the increase in prices of everything else. So last year, when they were doing your affordability, they would have said the average house spends X amount of money on household bills and food and stuff like that. That new formula, that new amount, is going to be more expensive. So if you're on the same money as what you was last year or before inflation started hitting the money it is now, lenders are now going to take more off of your affordability because they know the cost of living has gone up and you're not going to have as much disposable income left as what you do now. I mean, in October, I'm dreading October when my fixed energy deal runs out. I'm paying £130 a month at the moment. That's probably going to over double. So, and lenders are doing that. They're knowing that people's energy prices are going to go up and up and up. So when you're paying more money out, they're going to lend you less money. And also they're going to charge you more for it as well. So yeah, thanks for being honest with that, Maya, because I say not a lot of people like talking about money, but thanks for sharing. I think that will help a lot of people know that if you leave it, it's a perfect example that the longer you leave it, the more it's going to cost you, not only in house prices increase, but also in mortgage payments as well. That's literally summarise exactly what I was saying probably 10, 15 minutes ago. Megan's back. It's perfect property for us, a 3-bedroom and a huge garden. We had an offer accepted in February and we were happy to wait, but just worried about the future rates changing. Yeah, this is it. The rates are changing on a weekly basis. More and more deals are being more and more expensive. I read something earlier where I can't remember the exact figures, but the average rate, for example, last year was 2%. And now it's 3% for the average rate. So they're not the exact figures, but it was quite a massive difference between last year and this year. And that's purely because Bank of England have raised the base rate, which means lenders can then increase, they've got more of a reason to increase how much they're going to charge you. Tyler, thank you for the advice. I believe it's over 90 years old. I think it does make sense to do a full survey. If it's getting that sort of level, then it should be thought about. Not every property will require a full structural. I mean, I've got an ex-local authority property, so that's 1950. So we're 70. It was 67 years old when we bought the property, and we just went for the bog standard valuation. There was nothing really that we needed to check or anything like that. But if you are looking at an older house that hasn't been looked after and there are clear signs that there could be something wrong, then yeah, go for that full structural. But also speak to the surveyor first. If you pick a local surveyor, they'll be able to tell you what survey you need based on their experience. Most surveyors won't rip you off. They'll be more than happy to give you professional and the right advice to tell you which survey to go with. So yeah, get that survey done. And Tyler, pop back next week and let me know how you get on. Amy, thank you. Our sister did say the vendors reassured us they will sell to us regardless and are looking at backups as our mortgage offer ends just after October. So they've agreed mid-October completion. Perfect. So there's some time there. There's some time, which is good. Or hope, as you so well put it, with a smiley face. Excellent. James, thanks for sticking around. You've been here since the beginning, haven't you? So thank you. Thank you. Property review today looks great. Guide price 475, 2-bed semi, potential to improve. I'm a plasterer, so really need a doer-upper. No chain is first time buyer, so might offer 425 to 450 to start negotiations. James, forgive me, I've got a crap memory. Was this the one that already had an offer on it? Because if it's already had an offer on it, I'd probably stick at 450 rather than 425. Yeah. But if you can give any more information, if you know who's offered, what they've offered, and what the agents have told you, then yeah, pop that in the comments, mate. Because I think if there has been an offer, if I'm remembering it right, that the one that you viewed had an offer on it already, then yeah, that may be a little 425 might insult the owner, but it's your money. It's your money. It's just my advice. Just my advice. Like you say, you want to get the interest rate. Why it's at 2.4? Yeah, exactly. I mean, we locked in at 2.1% for a 5-year fixed 5 months ago, and I'm so glad I was contemplating doing the 2-year fixed, but I thought paying that little bit extra for 5 years gave us that security, that safety net, that we knew what our mortgage payments were going to be for the next 5 years, and that'll build up some more equity, which is nice. Megan, thank you so much for your advice. We've spoken to our mortgage broker, but we will speak to the estate agent about the reservation end date. Fingers crossed. I think we got it for a good price. If so, excellent. And that's, yeah, if you've got a good price for the property, then stick at it. Stick at it. There's very few good price properties at the moment. Very few. Tyler, thank you so much for your advice. I'm glad that I came on time. I'm glad as well. I'm glad. I love doing these. I much prefer doing these than having to worry about making a video and editing it for 3-4 minutes and then, do you know what I mean, replying to comments rather than to actual conversations with people. I think this is much better, and I think you guys like it as well. Yes, already had an offer. Yeah. So if that offer is particularly low, then the agent might give you an indication of how much that previous offer was. Obviously, it wasn't high enough because it's still for sale. Wasn't high enough to get the owner to accept it. But yeah, find out as much as you can from the estate agent. Ask them if you're wasting your time offering 425, and they'll give you an indication. They might not tell you exactly what the owner's already had, but they might be able to help you out and point you in the right direction. Right, let's have a look here. We'll go to the poll now and see what you guys think is going on with the house prices. 81% of you think that house prices are not going to go up, which are not go down. I think it's right. I think you pretty much know, if you've followed my channel for a little while, you know that I don't think that house prices are going to be going down anytime soon. I think we're in for price growth for at least the rest of this year. So I can imagine if we're sitting at the end of 2022 with average house prices gone up the last 12 months by 3 to 5%, which I think what Rightmove and Zoopla said, then yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen. Next year, we could see a correction. Now, correction could be just prices staying the same, very little growth, maybe sort of going up 0.1%, going down 0.2%, and just sort of fluctuating around that sort of price as the market finds its new normal. But I can't really see house prices coming down anytime soon. And my advice, as it's been for 2 years since I started this channel, buy now. If you can buy the property you need now, bloody well do it. Sorry for the profanity. Maya James, who offered you 2.4% rate, if you don't mind me asking? Let's share. Sorry, I've talked a lot and my voice is going. Anybody else have any more questions or any more stories they want to share? I'm really pleased that Cheryl popped back and told us about her wardrobes from last week. Yeah, we're all very concerned about that. And I told you it'd be a mistake. I knew it. Absolutely knew it. If you haven't given the video a like, we've got, how many people we've got viewing? 20 people viewing. So if you haven't liked the video already, please give it a thumbs up. It means a massive, big deal to me. I get lots of people saying thank you, but the likes just tell YouTube that yeah, we're doing something good here. Right, I think on that note, guys, I'm going to leave you. Join me again next week, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. for another live stream. We're going to go over a different topic, maybe. I'll have a little think of something. If you think of anything you want me to cover in the next live stream, let me know, and I'll see you again next week. Take care, guys.